I don't find how these guys talk shocking. I find it like it sounds like how I grew up. So
Soothing.
I would say soothing, but it's just like, I know that guy, I know this guy, I know that guy. And then I also feel the story was, if they asked me to do Annie, I would have done it.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. David Mamet's Glengarry Glen Ross is returning to Broadway. Performances begin on March 10th at the Palace Theater under the direction of Patrick Marber. And I caught up with a stellar cast here at the Pebble Bar during a break in rehearsal.
You can't beat this lineup that we got here, right? Kieran is on this crazy year right now. What are you doing here? Oscar nominee, Zap, no. Bob, Bill, Kevin, and then I just got a chance to meet John and Howard. These guys are incredible. I mean, truly, I already said, did I not say Michael? And of course, Michael.
We're going to say Michael.
But no, these guys
I'm an actor anyway. I didn't notice.
Okay, good. These guys, I mean, I've watched their work for so long, and when I had the opportunity to join, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in there 100%. And I'm just excited to continue to do the thing with these guys.
Shit, I wish I had such a. It's so enthusiastic, and my energy is going to be way down here. To be honest, the last time I did theater was a little over 10 years ago. It was Broadway, and I remember when that experience ended, I was like, that was perfect. I'm never doing it again. And one of the reasons was because it was kind of the perfect experience. I spent like years trying to get that play. I had to convince the playwright that I could play that part because he was sure I couldn't. I got to be on stage with my best friend, and when it ended, I was like, well, I did the perfect one. I'm done. And since I've had a couple things come by, and sometimes they're good, I'm like, I just don't want to do it anymore. I've done that. I've done the best version of it. So when this came, I had never seen production, I'd never seen the film, I'd never read it before. I went, fine, I'll read it. And I read it and went, oh, okay, well, this is going to be hard to say no to. And pretty much, I think it was immediately when I finished reading it. I might have even been when I finished reading the first act, I was like, I want to do this play. So it was just that easy.
My wife made me do this.
Best answer.
I mean, to piggyback on what Donald said, for me, it was a no-brainer. I mean, the people that are involved with it, but I got involved, actually. Rory McGregor, who's the assistant director on this production, we worked together on the Lehman trilogy in London. So I was working on that when he got the job to work on this. And I would tease him in rehearsals over there. I would come in with little bits of monologues from the play just to say, like, hey, give me, so I just wanted to be part. I've always loved the script, but when I heard who was in it, who was involved, I wanted to be a part of it. And then when I got added to it, what was a cherry on top was after I agreed, then Michael was added to the show, so that just made it even better. But it's just, it's a perfect, it's living the dream. It's a great play, great director, great guys, amazing theater. And I'll add one last thing, is that the first show I ever did in New York was Jeffrey Richards was the producer on it, my first time coming. So I love that I'm coming back to Broadway and doing another one of his shows as well.
Well, every time Jeffrey Richards asks me to go to work for him, I do. And it's worked out really, really well. This is my 7th show with Jeffrey.
Wow.
And when he calls again, I'll be available. It always works out. There's I don't exactly know what he does for a living. there is something about this attachment we seem to have formed, and I always have a good time. And hey, it's my hometown.
I'm from Chicago. I've always wanted to do this play. I saw the movie first, and I've never seen a live production of it. But Mamet played piano at the theater where I learned improv. So we always talked about Mamet, when we were young and learning, because he was famous already, and it just fits with the guys that my dad hung out with, and the guys I knew when I was a kid, the men that I knew, and I wanted to, I don't know, it was just great to join that group of assholes.
All right, I came into this business, stand up or whatever, watched a lot of sports, so I didn't really have any aspirations to work on Broadway. And then one day I was dating somebody, and they took me to see True West, and it had Philip Seymour Hoffman and John C. Reilly, and I saw how amazing it was, and I had just started taking acting classes, and I saw the whole power and how amazing it was, and I just, you had that dumb idea of like, I want to do that, like, how do you do that, So it was something that I wanted to do, and then like 25 years went by, and I just thought, well, I guess that's not going to happen. Boo-hoo, I just get to tell jokes for a living. So I just didn't think it was going to be something that was going to happen. And the second I gave up on it, all of a sudden I get a call, you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, 100%. And it was like, I just felt like it was the perfect play if I was going to do something for the first time, because I don't find how these guys talk shocking. I find it like it sounds like how I grew up. So
Soothing.
I would say soothing, but it's just like, I know that guy,
Familiar.
I know this guy, I know that guy. And then I also feel the story was, if they asked me to do Annie, I would have done it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been an actor, and I think I always sort of had it in my head that, a real actor does theater. I mean, whether that's true, I'm sure someone could argue with me, but that was always my idea, like, oh, you're in Equity, and and I just joined Equity like a few years ago, and now I'm on Broadway. I mean, the idea of being on Broadway was just even too big to even imagine that might happen. Just do theater. Just make sure you go and do theater. So, yeah, when you say like, what made me say yes? I mean, how could I say no?